Hey, I'm Rich and welcome to Rich Reviews Reviews, a channel where I scour review sites for the best and worst reviews of films, products, services and anything else with a rating so you don't have to. In today's installment, we take a look at Thunder Force, the newest Netflix feature film cash grab that hit the platform in early April 2021. Now, Netflix has a hit and miss history with original productions. 2019's The Irishman threw its budget at an amazing gangster cast, was nominated for 9 Oscars. That's one nomination for every 23 minutes of cruel runtime. Bird Box, the Sandra Bullock post-apocalyptic thriller from 2018, was actually fairly original and garnered a lot of positive attention. Then you have some epic fails from 2020, like A Fall from Grace, which could have been named Plot Holes, the movie, and Desperados, which centered on a group of women rushing to Mexico to delete an email one of them sent to her boyfriend or something, relying on crude gags and what else you really need to hear about that? Yeah, if you haven't heard of them, don't waste your time Googling. But hey, most of the world is still in lockdown, so we'll take anything new right now. Or will we? Let's dig in. Okay, so I don't have high hopes from the movie poster alone, but let's see a plot summary. Two childhood best friends reunite as an unlikely crime-fighting superhero duo when one invents a formula that gives ordinary people superpowers. Yeah, you know what? I could be on board with this. Superhero movies have dominated the box office over the last decade, and there's definitely an opportunity for a decent parody. Is this likely to be the best movie of 2021? No, of course not. But surely, if it's done right, it's an easy 6 or 7 out of 10. Okay, 4.4 is a little sad, but let's look beyond IMDb just to be sure. 1.9 out of 5 on Rotten Tomatoes is actually a little bit worse at 38%, and an audience rating of 23%. That's how many people rated the movie with more than 3.5 stars, by the way. Ugh, even the critics agree. Well, the review should be entertaining at least. Let's gather up some clues before we see what's up, shall we? Okay, what do we have here? Top bill cast is pretty solid, right? I mean, look at this. McCarthy has history. She is the stereotypical comedy actress. People might argue that she's great, but hey, Spy is a close to perfect parody film. She's even got history on Saturday Night Live. And as a politics nerd, I can say with some certainty that this Sean Spicer press briefing impression was hilarious. Okay, moving on. Octavia Spencer doesn't have an obvious history in comedy roles, granted, but sometimes the genuinely well-respected actor drives the biggest laughs. Think Robert De Niro in Meet the Parents. And look at these review scores. These are high-quality films. Shape of Water's in this list. Hold up. She even won an Academy Award for Best Supporting Actress in The Help back in 2012. Jason? No, it can't be Jason. Who doesn't love Bateman in everything he touches? I'm showing you the filmography here, but you have to add in Ozark and Arrested Development too. And the guy can play any role in any production as far as I'm concerned. Something isn't adding up. Yep, I missed it. There we go. Written and directed by Ben Falcone. I couldn't sigh any deeper if I tried. Who is Ben Falcone? Well, that's this guy, if you're struggling to put a name to a face. And look at this on-screen chemistry with McCarthy. It's almost as if that's real love. Oh, wait, yeah. They're a cute Hollywood couple that have been married since 2005. Kind of a power couple, actually, given how many projects they've collaborated on. Sadly, it's pretty clear who's doing the heavy lifting in that relationship. They say data doesn't lie, and this is a pretty horrific truth of a filmography. Let's gloss over this one reasonable character acting performance. Yep, nothing to see here. What Remains is a travesty. Thank you, always reliable sad child gif, for summing up my feelings and future expectations. Now, if this was my resume, I'd be ecstatic that Netflix were giving me money to make another movie starring my wife. However, as a guy sat on the sofa hoping I'm going to be entertained, well, quite the opposite. Please stop giving him money, Netflix. Give literally anyone else a chance. You know what? Even I'll try. Anyway, enough background and Falcone hatred. Let's begin reviewing some reviews. And before we step any further, obvious spoiler alert, these are reviews. People will point out things about the plot. They'll likely ruin the ending. They'll also screw up spelling and grammar, which, is a different kind of spoiler. Don't say you haven't been warned. So, to kick things off, a fairly eloquent review, rating the film about where you'd expect. A lovely 3 out of 10. Mindless movie. I watched this thinking Melissa, Octavia and Jason wouldn't betray me with some crappy, predictable comedy. I was wrong. I mean, it's not unwatchable, but it's definitely not worth a rewatch. Just put it on to play when you go out so the dogs have some background noise to distract them from chewing your furniture. Solid title, alliterative, works as a summary, matches the score. Betrayal. Maybe this person is genuinely friendly with the cast. They're on a first-name basis too. Not sure betrayal is really the right term otherwise, but it makes the point well. Not unwatchable. Kinda going for the backhanded compliment with a sprinkling of double negatives for extra impact. Finish is strung with a functional example to back up the 3 stars awarded. Maybe the film does serve a purpose after all. Falcone might just be a genius in writing to maintain the attention of household pets. Good length, easy to read. I rate this review a solid 8 out of 10. Next up is a classic rage-induced 1 star. A new level of horrible. One of the reviewers mentioned that this wasn't unwatchable. I disagree completely. I went in expecting typical Melissa McCarthy lowbrow trash, but this is cringeworthy. Octavia Spencer seemed like she knew how bad this was as she was in it, and appeared to phone it entirely. I made it as far as the Crabman, and turned it off. I won't even waste another moment of my life reviewing it. We start with a reference to the previous review. I mean, this is nice. They're doing my job for me here. And it's a fantastic review statement technique. Point out something in another review, then disagree. Guaranteed easy comedy giggle. They're making a good point in this second section. Then, bam, an unfortunate typo at the sentence length gets a little bit out of hand. Crabman is mentioned. We'll come back to that later, I promise. A couple of things jump out here. First, classic quotation marks to show discontent with a character. It has its place, but it's overdone. Secondly, the inevitable turning it off moment rears its ugly head. Now, I might be cynical. In fact, obviously I'm cynical, that's why this channel exists. But I never believe these. You took the time to write a review, but not to finish the film? At the very least, type it out on your phone while it plays in the background, keeping your dogs entertained. Clichés aside, 6 out of 10. Moving on to someone with a poor grasp of paragraph structure. What a waste of time this film was. I loved Melissa McCarthy, but oh my, this has to be her worst film even. And Jason Bateman? Why would he take a role like this? A crabman? Full of corny jokes, bad acting, and just an overall terrible screenplay. It took everything we had to finish this film. Where are all the good independent films that need financing? As I'm sure the cost of this film could have funded at least 30 great indie films. Oh, and I'm sorry, but Octavia Spencer is not an actress that can play a comedy role. So bad, all the way around. For my own sanity, I'm going to assume this person's first language isn't English. It's better than any of the alternatives. Just going to add some red to this nonsense quickly. Right. So, we've ticked off weird sentence endings, mid-statement question marks, typos, missing question marks where there are actual questions, non-capitalization at the start of a sentence, an A where there should be an, and a horrible could of instead of could have. That really grinds my gears. All the way around is just a weird statement too. And why have they added Lenora to the name? Is this relevant? Is it a reference I'm missing? Do I want to dig into it? No, I do not. All that said, the sentiment isn't too bad, and as a reader I still understand what they're getting at. Just about deserves 3 stars. Well, this is short and straight to the point. We've got 0.5 stars here out of 5. Does the wording justify it? I started watching the movie evenings 3 days in a row and got asleep each time after 20 minutes. I think they're saying they tried watching this every night for 3 days, but only made it 20 minutes in each time. I have so many questions here. Did they watch from the start every time? Did the repetition make it easier to fall asleep? Were they still asleep when they wrote this review? I feel like I'm going to have to match their own rating for this one. 1 out of 10. Hard to do in only one sentence. Maybe actually impressive. Another reviewer here, leaving 1 star. The trend, at least, is becoming quite clear. Seriously awful. I don't understand how someone can really make a movie like this, watch it, then believe it's good enough to release to the public. The only thing more annoying than McCarthy is the fact that I can't get the time I wasted back. Take my advice. Don't waste yours. I think we have a frontrunner. It's crystal clear. There is a jokey comparison of an actress's performance to a waste of time. The closing summary is solid, if a little unoriginal. I'm ducking 1 star for not capitalising awful in the title. Sure, it's a subjective thing, but it just looks wrong. You can fight me in the comment section on that one. 9 out of 10. Applause all round. Coming in next, can a reviewer compete with that? 8 out of 10? What's with all the negativity? I just watched this and was shocked to see the bad reviews. In my opinion, this movie was great. Melissa McCarthy is amazing as always, and Octavia Spencer, although plays a rather downplayed character, is just as amazing. As a lover of Marvel and DC films, it was so interesting to see older, plus-size superheroes, as well as more POC representation. I love the story and the characters. Apart from Crab Arms, WTF, laughing face emoji, the comedic timing was brilliant, and I would love to see a sequel. I definitely recommend giving this movie a chance and judging it for yourself instead of going off of the negative reviews. Ooh, this is a tricky one. That tiny lowercase w to start the title just makes me sad. Then they close the title with an interrobang, inarguably the best punctuation mark in existence. Some awkward grammar, although not bad enough to become unreadable. The crying face emoji alongside a WTF ruins what was up until that point a fairly serious tone. What a roller coaster. Oh, and they rated this seemingly garbage film an 8 out of 10. A little controversial, but someone had to have liked this to bring the average up to a 4, I guess. I'm feeling generous. The positive tone alone has put me in a better mood. They can have a 6. Okay, what do we have here? Oh, I have the horrible feeling that my mood is about to swing back towards seething rage and disappointment. 1 out of 10. 1 word. Dreadful. Can someone tell Melissa that she isn't funny? And by the way, what the hell are you doing here, Octavia? You are way better than this. Just waste of money, talent, and my precious time. Yeah, I don't know what I hate the most about this. The spacing before every punctuation mark, except for some reason the last period. The 4 question marks in a row by default. The misspelt dreadful in the title. No, it's the ironic confidence in stating 1 word before royally screwing that 1 word up. 0 out of 10. Let's move on. Oh no, not another one with a misspelled title. Alright, 1 out of 10. Abysmal. One of the worst movies I ever saw. Melissa McCarthy's ad-libbed, mumbled brain farts did not help as well. I felt kind of embarrassed for her, and I hope Octavia Spencer and Jason Bateman at least got a big payment for taking part in it. The story is generic, and the movie does not even bother to cover it up. It's movie making in its lowest form, and it feels like an insult to watch this production. One feels that whoever is responsible for this movie thinks the common viewer is a moron. It's a pure attempt to cash grab, conveniently riding on the superhero hype train and hiding behind a shallow husk of the female empowerment topic? Netflix, please stop throwing money out of the window, remember your roots, and start producing small, independent movies again. Wait, how did this person screw up so badly at the start with their abysmal spelling? You see what I did there? Yeah? And this bizarre ad-lib error. I mean, I don't even know how you do that. Then pull things around for 3 honestly decent paragraphs of views I wholeheartedly agree with? Did someone take over after the first sentence out of kindness? I'm thoroughly confused, but they've redeemed themselves. 7 out of 10. Okay, who's our last contender? Well, we found another positive review. 8 out of 10. I'm not gonna lie. I need a crab movie. 2 hours of just him walking around town making sarcastic comments at everyone he encounters. Make it happen. Wait, was Bateman's performance of a super crab villain strong enough by itself to carry the entire production to an 8 in this reviewer's eyes? They get 4 out of 10 for failing to review the movie, but they have forced me to Google compilation videos of Crabman, so yeah, go and do that for yourself. You'll enjoy it. So, what I've learned is that people really want this version of the movie. Genuinely. You want Jason Bateman in a crab costume making sarcastic comments to everyone he encounters? Yeah, count me in. That feels like the right note to end on. But before you click on whatever's next in YouTube's all-knowing down the rabbit hole algorithm, please like, subscribe, and leave your suggestions for things to review in the comment section below. It really helps me out trying to grow this new channel and bring you more of this type of stuff. I've been Rich Reviewing Reviews. Have a great day, everyone.